Greetings, fellow Skyrim Mod users. My name is Formalitus, and today I'd like to show you how to properly use a mod I created called the Effortless Level List Creation. Now, when I first released this mod, I released it as an ESP, and my goal was to essentially have you use my ESP for your own personal mods in order to create a level list update or a level list patch. And I was talking with an individual on the Skyrim Nexus, and he informed me that it'd be a lot easier if I made a master, made my mod a master. That way, it'll just make it a lot simpler for you to have your mod use my mod as a master. And so I looked into the process, did a bit of research, and I found out that this individual is absolutely correct. That if I made my mod into a master and then had your mod use my mod as one of its listed masters, then it would make basically the process a lot quicker and have less prone to any type of bugs or errors that could occur. So as of now, I have the Effortless Level List Creation master as the main file on my on the mod page. Now I'm going to leave the ESP mod still on there, just in case if any of you want to use an ESP as opposed to using a master mod. However, do keep in mind that I will only be contributing my updates to the master mod. I'm basically going to leave the ESP mod as it is. Just to let you know, because I've done so much testing with the ESP version of this mod, there is really no, I haven't found any type of disadvantages on using the ESP. Everything seems to be running smoothly. I ran it with multiple copies of itself, not a problem. Everything worked as fine as it is. So, if you want to leave your mod using my mod as an ESP file, go ahead, not a problem. However, if you want to start over or if you're just starting out with this mod, definitely use the master. It'll make it a lot easier for you to make changes and such. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin. So I've already opened up the creation kit, and I've already opened up Skyrim, kind of went through all that loading process. And just for the sake of simplicity, I have made already just an armor in here. Basically, I called it your armor, just to get kind of the point across. So this, for example, will be your mod with your armor in it. Just so you know, it's a copy of the Iron Cuirass, nothing special. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it as your mod. Now, hopefully, you already know how to do this. The goal of this video is not to teach you how to put your own armors into the game or how to make your own mods. There are plenty of other tutorials online that can do that for you. So for right now, we're just going to assume that you already have that information under your belt. And so, once that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to minimize the creation kit, and we're going to go ahead and open it up, my mod, Effortless Level List Creation Master version. So we're going to open that up, and there it is, the master. So we're going to copy that. And if you notice right under here, it's a Bethesda master data file. So that's important. We're now using the master version, not the ESP version. And we're going to go ahead and copy that and put it in the data, just like so. All right. Then we're going to go back and reopen up the creation kit. We're going to go to the load here, the open. We have Skyrim as an ESM, and we have your mod down here as an ESP. So both of those are loaded is what we want. Now what we're going to do is look in the master files, and you're going to find Effortless Level List Creation. And then you notice it is now a master file. As you can tell by the name, master at the end too. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click that. There we go. And that way we're going to load two masters, the Skyrim master and the Effortless Level List Creation master alongside your mod. Now your mod, if you notice, is the active file. That's very important. We're going to have your mod do all the changes to itself, and because obviously you can't make changes to a master anyways. And then just push OK, and we're going to let it load. Alright, so once that is finished loading up, we're going to go ahead and check and make sure that both masters are selected. So right here we have Skyrim master selected. We have the Effortless Level List Creation master selected, and we scroll down and we have your mod selected. There we go. Nice and easy and simple. Alright, so now that we have both masters selected, we're going to go ahead and stick your mod into the level list. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scroll up here, and what you're looking for is leveled item, and that's actually underneath the item. So normally you might see it like this. Go up, click the little plus sign next to the items, open up the kind of the drop menu here, and right there we're going to click leveled item. And now with my mod, all of the level list armors start off with double A. So we're going to do double A right up the top. And there we go. We have all the armors selected, or all the armors displayed. And what we're going to do, since our armor is a iron armor, we're going to scroll down and look for iron. There it is, iron armor. So we're going to double click that. Oops. Alrighty, come on. There we go. Alright, double click the item, open it up, AA iron armor, and if you notice already an armor iron curious is in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and push new. Now it's going to bring up a new object, which is a light object, and obviously we don't want that in the level list. Click over there on the right and go ahead and left click that, and then we're going to type in your armor. Now of course this is whatever armor you have. This is where it's going to, whatever the name's going to be, but for this example, your armor. So we're putting your armor in there, pushing OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test and see if it actually worked. All right, we're going to see if the your armor part right here is going to work in the level list. So we're going to go back up top here to the filter. We're going to type in bandit. And what we're looking for is bandit curious, bandit heavy curious. There we go. We're going to open that up. There we are. And if you notice, we already have a bunch of iron curiouses in here. That kind of came with the level list already. What you'll also see is my sub-level list is in here right next to your iron curious. Now, that's how this mod works, is every time there's a normal in-game curious that NPCs will use, I have placed a sub-list with the sub-list so you can add that in. So every time there's iron curious, whether it be in the blacksmith, mercenaries, NPCs, whatever, there it's already added. So all of this stuff, wherever there's an iron curious, it's been added into it. And that's the same, of course, with every armor. There's, for example, steel plate, etc. for this unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up this, just the iron armor again, double click it. There it is. Your armor's in it. Perfect. We're going to exit back out of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to test and make sure that our armor is actually working, that Skyrim recognizes the chance for this mod to work. So you notice over here it has level 1. That's the level of the NPC. When the NPC is at level, it will have the chance to spawn or use any of the items under level 1. So if you look over here, we have preview level. That's already at level 1. We're going to leave that there. And what this basically means is a way for us to see, all right, random chance, will an NPC at level 1, what armor will he be using? So we're going to do preview calculated result. And see, your armor already made it in. Randomly made it in. So we're going to preview again. Iron Curious, your armor. Just like that. If you notice, Iron Curious tends to come up a lot more often before your armor. And the reason for that, I'm going to explain in just a moment. The reason for that is because there's been 4 entries of Iron Curious normally in the game. And when you open up Iron Armor, so double click that again. Oh, there we go. When you open this up, you'll see there's Iron Curious already in here. And the point of that is, well, basically what that means with the chances is you have 4 chances for the Iron Curious, plus 4 additional chances, because there's 4 more Iron Armor sublists that have the Iron Curious in it. So it's 8 chances for the Iron Curious versus your only 4 chances of your armor. Now the reason I have that in here is because this is what happens. Let's say I delete everything and left it empty, all right? And just there's nothing in there. So that way, when you add your mod, it's an equal chance. So I'm just going to leave that empty. if you notice when I preview calculate result, I will have an empty object. Now the reason it's empty is because it's looked in that sublist and it goes, oh, there's no items, so I'm not going to give this NPC any items or any armor. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of bandits running around without any armor, and we don't want that. So if you want your armor to show up just as many times as the Iron Curious, what you got to do is open back up the Iron Armor, add in only your armor, and then delete the Iron Armor that was up here already. That way you're going to have roughly an equal amount of chance. So that's kind of an important aspect on how you can get your armor to show up as common or less common. But just wanted to show you guys the reason why I left Iron Armor already in there. So it's your choice whether you want to leave that in there or not. For this sake, we're going to go ahead and delete it and just leave your armor in there. We're going to push OK. Now we're going to check preview calculate result, preview level number 1, level over here, level 1, preview, Iron Curious, your armor. Iron Curious, your armor. So it's kind of semi-common for your armor to show up. Let's go ahead and delete all that, or exit out of those windows. We're going to push OK. And there you go. That's it. So now every single time an Iron Curious is put in, your armor's in there too. And that works for blacksmiths, bandit bosses, NPCs, anything like that. Loot, it's all in there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and save your mod. And there we go. So now once your mod is saved, what you have to do now is we have to use TezEdit and Wrye Bash in order to make the level list merge with any other level list mods you might have. Now this next part of the video is important for not only this mod to work correctly, but also for any other mod where you're using level list to work correctly. So we're going to minimize the creation kit. We're going to data. And what we're going to do first is we're going to go to TezEdit. Now, this mod is very important for mod users. It's kind of a must. You should always have this mod whenever you're working with mods. And I have a link under resources on my main mod page to where this mod is located on the Nexus. What I like to do is I like to make sure Skyrim and Update are selected. Sometimes they're unselected. I really haven't seen one way or another if that makes a difference or not. For my purposes, I always feel safe I have it selected. We also want to have selected, of course, is the Effortless Level List Creation Master. You want to have that selected. And you want to have all your mods selected, including your mod, which we find down here. Now, Bashed Patch, that you may not already have in here. And if you do have it, that means you've used Wrye Bash before. So what we're going to want to do is, if you have that, uncheck it, because we do not want to use that in what we're going to be scanning here for with these mods. So we're going to go ahead and push OK, and it's going to load up all the different files, and once that is done, then we'll continue. Alright, so you'll know it's finished when it says down here on the background loader, finished, and you'll also notice you can kind of move the bar up and down, and you can see all your mods listed, including your mod right down there. Now this mod TezEdit, kind of modder's resource here, it has a lot of neat features, and there are tutorials online to show you kind of more of the details. I'm just going to be using more or less towards what we're going to be using for the level list. Now, what we're going to do here is we right click anywhere on the left hand side, and we're going to go down to Other, down at the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and scroll up this list until you see Create Merge Patch, and then just click that. And what you want to do is you want to type in any name. And what I like to do is I type in ZZZ, so 3 Z's, and then my merged patch. And then press OK. And again, you can name this whatever you want. Now, this is going to take just a little bit of time, not as long as loading up all the files, but just a little bit of time for it to get all the information together. Alright, so it's all loaded up pretty quick, that one. So if we scroll down, we'll see the new mod we made here, which is ZZ My Merged Patch. And what this has done is it's taken every single mod in your actual list, and anything that that repeated itself, like if a level list was changed twice, or if a container contained more than one type of item from different mods, it put them all together. So, because normally in Skyrim, if it's a level list, for example, if you have two mods, the mod closest to the bottom of the load order would overwrite anything above it. And that's how they designed Skyrim. So this mod basically puts it all into one mod, a merged patch, and that way everything can be used without any conflict. So we're going to go ahead and look at ZZ My Merge Patch, and we're going to open up this little plus sign on the side. And you'll notice you'll have a bunch of things: faction, leveled item, leveled NPC, non-player character, the NPCs, and then of course the race. Now, because we're going to be using Wrye Bash, what we're actually going to do is we're actually going to delete leveled item and leveled NPC, because we're going to use Wrye Bash and it's going to do the same thing, and we don't want to duplicate it. So what I did is right click. I'm going to right click leveled item. I'm going to go up here to remove. Now this warning is going to pop up. Don't worry about it. It's just a safety thing the mod author of TesEdit did to make sure you knew what you were doing. And for this case, we know exactly what we're doing. We do not want the leveled item to be a part of this patch. So we're going to go yes, absolutely sure. And then yes again. Same with the leveled NPC. Right click, remove, yes. There you go. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, why then did we even do this? If it's not really doing our level list right now, what's the point? And the point is, this is kind of a safety feature. It's to make sure all the mods are working together. And there's a way to go in and check all this. Like you can open up here and check all the different things that have been merged together, factions and all that. There's other tutorials that'll go into details. And for our purposes right now, just delete those two things and we're going to go ahead and exit out of the program. Now it's going to ask us, do you want to save the patch? Yes, we do. You want to make sure that none of your other mods are selected. They shouldn't be, but if they are, unselect them, then push OK. Then that will close out. And now what we're going to do is run up a Wrye Bash. And this mod, again, will be posted on, or is posted on my main page under the resources as a link to where this mod is located on the Skyrim Nexus. Again, a very handy tool when using a lot of mods in Skyrim, making sure everything pushes together, meshes together, and such. So there we are, Wrye Bash, loading up. Now the first thing to notice when you get in here is it shows all your mods here, and it'll show everything that you have selected and such. Now, one thing you want to notice is if I click File up here, it organizes it according to alphabetical order. Now, if you notice, if I click this and I tried to drag it, nothing would happen. You notice that? Nothing really is going anywhere. It's because it's only doing it towards alphabetical order. So what I want to do is I want to go over here and I want to click this right up here, this little one in between installer and file. And what that has done is it's actually shown you what order it's in. So Skyrim is 00, update is 01, all the way, etc., etc., etc. And the reason we want this is because now, if we wanted to, we can drag and move the mod now. You see how we can move the order? So that's important. We're going to need to do that for a later step here. Now what we're going to do is you're going to see Effortless Level List Creation Master ESM. Now that isn't selected, so go ahead and select that. I'm going to scroll down through all your mods here, and you're going to see your mod. There's your mod right there. So we're going to go ahead and select that because we want your mod, of course, to be activated. And we're going to see merged patch right here. What we want to do is we want to put the merged patch that we made before in TesEdit underneath at the bottom, underneath your mod. Because obviously the mod all the way at the bottom will overwrite any changes of any other mods. Now what Wrye Bash has done is it's made a bash patch for you. It does that automatically. And what we want to do is you want to find that and you want to move that all the way at the bottom too. And underneath ZZ My Merge Patch, because we want this one to overwrite everything. Because what it's going to do is it's going to take this mod into account, the patch that we made, and it's going to take the level list into account. And that's very important that we have this underneath, obviously, to make all the necessary changes. So what we're going to do is we are going to right click batch patch. And you're going to have a bunch of options here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to rebuild patch. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And what you want to have check marked here is merge patches and level lists. The other things can be used for other purposes depending on what you use it for. Again, Look up tutorials on Wrye Bash on how to use that. And go ahead and click Build Patch. All right, and once that's done, it's going to come up with this little window, the batch patch window basically. And it's going to have an overview of changes that have been done and the level list, because that's what we told it to do, is do the level list. So we're going to go ahead and click that. It's going to bring us down to the level list area. Now, it's going to have this list of de-levelers, re-levelers, and you're going to see a list of all these different mods that alter the level list. And you might not see your mod in here. That's fine. It doesn't matter if it's in there. What we do want to do is we do want to find where your mod is located. So what we're going to do is push Control F. And it's going to bring up this find search box. And we're going to type in the name of your mod. So your mod. And there it is. So we're going to exit out of that. And you see under AA Iron Armor, which was that sub list, you made a change. The change was your mod made a change of putting in your armor into that mod. So if you altered anything else, whether it be the steel armor sub list or anything, then the rest of that would also show up in here. And that's what we wanted to see. So push OK, and that's it. You're done. You have effortlessly put your mod into the level list, barely took any time. You ran test edit to make sure to remove any conflicts from any of your other mods, and then you ran the bash patch from Wrye Bash, which merged all the level lists together, causing then your Skyrim to run efficiently. And now you're going to start seeing iron armor in the game and your armor wherever iron armor is or shows up randomly.